Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the next episode of Joe Kelley's Psychedelic Experience. What's going on with you? Your old pal Joe checking in with you here on a motherfucking Wednesday. How about that, people? How about that? Missed you on Monday. My apologies. I was out of town once again this past weekend, so didn't get a chance to do the podcast on Sunday. Was driving back from Iowa. Had a nice 12 and a half, 13-hour drive day. So please forgive me. That's all I'm asking for is your forgiveness for being a couple of days late here with the podcast episode. What's going on? Hey, not much with me. Just go to joekellycomedy.com for info, shows, and all that fun stuff coming up. Working on a big tour, a big tour for the month of May and into June. So be on the lookout for that. I'm hoping to do at least maybe 3 weeks, something like that on the road. And I'll be making my way towards Nashville here in March. Going to be moving up that way. So a lot of things going on. Might be a little bit light for shows here in the next coming month or two. But if you haven't checked out my album, check that out, Ladies and Leftovers. That's everywhere you could possibly find. You know what I mean? All the streaming services. You can find it on YouTube. And that's about it, people. That's all I got going on. What have you been up to? How's your January going? How you doing? Hope you're doing better than you ever thought you possibly could be doing, all right? And, hey, 2022 off to a good start. Big news today, people. Big news today. Weed cures COVID. Did you all see that? Did you all see that Cannabis is out there fighting the good fight? You know? I don't even know if that's the exact, I don't know if that's what is true. I'll say that. I'm not trying to spread misinformation here on the podcast. I like to come here, as you guys all know, with everything very heavily researched, and I like to know precisely what I'm talking about. And I don't just read a headline and then spew a bunch of garbage and make up my own reasoning for why that headline's true. I don't do that sort of thing. I bring you all the fucking hot news. So that's... It's from Bloomberg, too, so it's got to be legit, right? The headline is, Cannabis Compounds Prevented COVID Infection in Laboratory Study. So that means what? COVID can... fucking... Goddamn, I can't even talk now, people. I can't even talk. Big fat old fucking tongue. Ladies. Cannabis compounds prevent COVID-19. So it's not that it cures it, it's that it prevents it. Which, that's what I've been saying from the beginning of the whole quarantine thing. I've been saying this long before we even got into this mess of a virus. People, smoke your weed and eat someone's ass. That's how you stay healthy. I don't know why people don't listen to me when I have no real research to back it up other than just my own habits and my own life, you know? But I've been right this whole time. That's what this tells me. I'm not going to read the rest of it. Why would I? The point is, I've been right, and the media has been lying to you. It's just me and Joe Rogan. We're the only two sources that can be trusted in the world of media nowadays, you know? Joe Rogan and Joe Kelley. Maybe we should get a podcast. Hey, big fans of mine, start getting at Joe Rogan. Tell him to get me on his podcast because I got a lot of things to say and valuable information that I think would better people's lives. You know what I mean? So, you know, I hope you're out there smoking your weed and I hope you're licking a dirty asshole because weed will prevent the COVID infection and then eating ass just strengthens your natural immune system. Okay? So get out there and do that, you know? Have some fun. Don't just sit inside and not smoke weed and eat your loved one's butthole. Get out there and have some fun, people. I'm trying to read like what the rest of this even says, but there's so many words that I don't know what they are. The two compounds commonly found in hemp. I'm shitty at talking today, people. My apologies. Called cannabigerolic acid, or CBGA, and cannabidiolic, we'll call it that acid, CBDA, were identified during a chemical screening effort as having potential to combat coronavirus, researchers from Oregon State University said. Oregon's good for the drug stuff, you know what I mean? I think they legalized psychedelic mushrooms out there not too long ago, and now they're doing weed studies on preventing COVID. So that's pretty good. Hey, Something to keep in mind, people. Something to keep in mind that you need your hydrochloroquine and you need your weed, and you gotta be licking dirty ass. There's a great George Carlin bit. If you haven't seen it, look it up. Look up Carlin Germs on YouTube sometime. I think this was from like '99 or something like that. It's such a good, the idea or the bit is that germs, people who live sterile lives tend to get more infections because they have an immune system, but it never gets any work. You know what I mean? He's like, that's why you have an immune system, to kill germs, but your immune system needs germs to practice on. So, get out there, get your toes in the mud, get your tongue in the mud as well, and smoke a little doober, and I think you're going to have a great 2022, people. A little positivity to get the podcast started, man. How was your weekend? Did you have some fun? I was in Iowa with my good friend Aaron Weber of the Nate Land podcast. That's Aaron. He's big dogging now. I've known Aaron forever. He started comedy after I did, but he is much more successful. He's got a whole damn career going, and I'm here trying to give health advice to you fucking idiots. You fucking goofballs. Why are you still listening to this shit? Anyway, Aaron's the best, man. I love it to death. We had such a fun time. It was up in Iowa, this place called Dubuque Comedy Bar. The shows were great. Crowds were a lot of fun. Some people drove 5 hours from Minnesota to see his fucking ass. So it's like, Aaron's doing good things, and it's fun to see a friend come up, like good things happening to him, And yeah, Aaron's always been really funny. So it's very fun. It makes me feel good to see things working out for him in some ways. You know what I mean? He still needs a sleep apnea mask. So, but comedy-wise, he's doing well. He's doing great. Shows were a lot of fun. It was interesting. People tend to hang around comedy clubs and not even comics. There's always like people who are just regulars at comedy clubs. And it's before the show on Saturday, right? We did a show Friday, a show Saturday, which ain't bad for a weekend. 2 shows, fucking A. Easy work, But one of the servers before the second show, somebody was doing a guest spot on the Saturday show. And one of the servers was like, there's going to be an autistic guy who's going to be around because he's always around when the person who's doing the guest spot is around. And he's like, stalks me. And I'm like, I don't know if he's, if he's stalking or if he's just being autistic. You know what I mean? It's a loophole, people. If you're ever stalking a lady, just say you're autistic. And it's like, I'm not stalking you. I just don't know personal space boundaries that well. But it's like, you know what I mean? Autism is everywhere nowadays. So I didn't know who the autistic person was. And also, if he was stalking or giving any trouble, I was ready. I'd punch an autistic kid in the face for a lady. Of course. Leave her alone, retard. And uppercut that motherfucker. For a lady. If a lady was in harm, that's the only way I'd do it, But anyway, I'm trying to figure out like who the autistic person is. Because I want to get a good look at this motherfucker, It was pretty tough to figure out. There are a lot of interesting looking people in Iowa, believe it or not. Would you believe me if I told you in a room full of about 80 people, almost 90, in Iowa, I couldn't tell who the autistic person was? Would you believe me if I told you that? So I'm playing the guessing game, I'm trying to figure out who's stalking this lady and who's the buddy of the comic or who's stalking the comic too. It didn't take long to figure it out. It turns out it was the one talking about how much he loves beef jerky. Imagine that. Just talking about, I love it in the car. I love it in my house. I like to get high and eat beef jerky. Just enjoying beef jerky, you know? Because Aaron has a bit about beef jerky. So usually, if you do a bit about something and you get off the stage and someone's like, hey, I really liked that thing that you were talking about, and I thought it was funny, and you're like, oh, great. That's really kind of you. I appreciate you enjoying my material, my comedy that I'm doing, you know? But this kid, he's like, I love the beef jerky. And Aaron's like, oh, cool. Thank you for enjoying my bit. And he's like, no, I don't give a shit about that. I love beef jerky. Okay? I love it anywhere and everywhere. And then he started telling us ways to enjoy beef jerky better, which mainly consisted of smoking weed and then eating beef jerky, which I get. But beef jerky tends to it's a lot of chewing going on. You're using a lot of, if it's good beef jerky, you know what I mean? It's got to be a little bit tough. I like a chewy beef jerky. Uses a lot of saliva. So you can't be getting too high and eating beef jerky, you know. Anyway, this guy's autistic. He's not going to get COVID because he just gets high and eats beef jerky all day. He also was wondering where we were staying, which got a little bit weird when he was like, all right, I'm leaving, but where are you guys staying? Is it right around here? And it's like, okay. I can see how you might make that lady uncomfortable, you know. And he acted like we had never stayed away from home before too. Because when he found out, because they put us up in a condo there, they have a nice condo above the comedy club, which is just fucking perfect, man. I know I was shitting on Iowa, but Dubuque was beautiful. It's a beautiful city, and the comedy club there, the comedy bar they have in Dubuque is fucking perfect, man. It's fucking incredible. Small room, very low ceiling. And as far as being like an out of town person, having that condo fucking 4 floors up is just the best, man. They do it right up there. They do it good in Chicago too. But what the fuck was I trying to get at? Oh, he was just, telling us to eat beef jerky in the shower or some shit like that, you know? He's like, what you got to do, since you're not paying for the water, is whenever you get home, whenever you get to the room, you just turn the shower on real hot and then let it run, and then you walk around, you get high and you eat beef jerky. That way the floor's warm, you know, when you get in there. And it's like, I'm not going to waste water just because I'm not paying for it, you know? And also, I've done that before. I've stayed in hotels. Doesn't everybody do that? Don't you go, okay, I'm going to take a shower, get the shower nice and warm, and then for some reason you just go lay the fuck down, you know? That's what you do at a hotel. You get all naked and you go, fuck it, I'm going to lay in this bed while that shower runs for 20, 30 minutes, you know? Fucking autistic kid. What a good guy, though. You know, he was a good guy. You can't be mad at him. You know, he was fun. He was there to enjoy the show. I love beef jerky, and I love hot showers. It's like, goddamn. Just the simplicity of life, you know? I feel that way sometimes, because I, too, enjoy beef jerky and hot showers. And I'm not too sure what else to talk to people about most times, you know? Anyway. What a good time. That was really the only interesting character that we encountered along the way. We did stop at this place in Illinois called Starved Rock and went for a little hike. It was very interesting. Aaron's been going on hikes, apparently, to every city he goes in. Just a way to kill time, you know, kill a day or something like that. Which is good. You get out of the hotel room, you get out of the condo or whatever, you're out and about in the air. So we decided to stop along the way because we had some extra time. We broke up the drive. And he's like, let's go to this place called Starved Rock. And it's like, okay, let me look it up, you know. And turns out there's a brand new documentary series about Starved Rock. I believe it's on HBO, that 3 old broads were brutally murdered up there not too long ago. I mean, it was a while ago. It wasn't like it was yesterday. It's not like it just happened, you know. It's been decades upon decades upon decades. But that was something fun to figure out. So you know what we did? We're staying at an Airbnb on Thursday night. So we're like, fucking, hey, let's just watch this documentary series about these old broads getting killed, about where we're going to go look, you know, where we're going to go hike. We're going to go check it out. Because now we got a reason to be there. not just to enjoy nature, but to do our own investigative reporting and try and get to the bottom of it. Because the series it's like a 3-part series. Check it out. It's pretty fun. It's like Starved Rock Murders or something like that. But it's pretty much making a murderer. You know what I mean? There's somebody in jail and they're like, well, maybe he didn't do it. And they're like, well, he said he did do it. And they're like, yeah, but, that's pretty much making a murderer, right? Where they convinced there's a lot of autism talk on here today. Remember the fucking retarded kid they sent to jail? It was like, you want to go watch WrestleMania? And he's like, yep. And he's like, well, did you kill the ladies? And he goes, yeah, can I go? I'm going to go watch wrestling now. And they're like, nah, you said you killed the ladies. You can't do that. They just conned him, coerced him into or giving a plea or whatever. You know what I mean? But that's pretty much what Starved Rock is about too. It also has this weird undertone of the documentarian, the guy making the documentary. I think that's what that means. I hope that's right. Hey, people, if that's right, I just knocked it out of the fucking park with that word. Okay? But it almost seems like he's trying to prove something to his dad throughout the whole documentary. Because his dad was he was the prosecutor who prosecuted the fella for the murders, and he's been in jail for whatever, 40, 50 years, 60 years, some shit like that, So this kid is making a documentary about going, Dad, I think you might be wrong. And you could see just like, he wants his dad to love him, but his dad won't because his dad's like a tough-nosed attorney, you know what I mean? And he's he's got a little fucking Backstreet Boys soul patch, and he's, dancing around with gumdrops. You guys get what I'm saying. He's a disappointment to his father, and he's always been. So this guy is trying to fuck up his big claim to fame, which was prosecuting this guy for these 3 old murders. So they go through all the old evidence, and apparently he's not in prison anymore. I might have ruined it for you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, people. If you didn't see it yet, if you don't know what's going on, the guy gets out of jail, but he's not innocent yet. He's just not in prison anymore. I guess they got to go back and do like a whole new trial with like modern evidence and shit like that. It's wild. It's pretty crazy. Like they found the bodies at this place called St. Louis Canyon, which is part of the Starved Rock Sanctuary or whatever the fuck, And you would think our thinking going into it, well, if it's like if you left a few bodies here, like it's probably going to be kind of tough to get to. We walked right fucking to that thing. It's not very well hidden at all. There's a trail that leads right to it, and it's not far back. It maybe was like a mile in, and it's pretty crazy. You know what I mean? Because looking back, it was like somebody definitely wanted those old ladies to be found really easily. You know what I mean? Like displayed them out in the open. We thought there might be some kind of like curve or something to go under or go around, but no, it was just out in the fucking open. Did this guy do it? We don't know. We don't know. Chester? I think his name is Chester. It might be. I think it's Chester. But he's a frail old man now. But there's also, he was supposed to be getting a haircut by Thomas Jefferson or some shit like that at the time the murders were going on. And his old buddy Stanley, something like that, Stanley Kubrick or something like that, he's got a black car, and somebody saw the black car, and the old ladies might have gotten the black car. Nobody knows exactly what happened that day. And neither do we. We did all that investigating. We went down there looking for clues. No stone left unturned, people. We found nothing. I found a hat. I found a beanie. I took it. I'm not going to lie, people. It was just out in the woods somewhere, just laying there. So I took it. And now I'm wondering maybe I shouldn't have taken that beanie. What if it's cursed? What if the person wearing that beanie before I took it was brutally murdered and is left in some other canyon down there? And now I'm a suspect, All because I was like, hey, this shouldn't be out here. I'll take it with me, I wonder what happened to that person with the beanie. I hope they're okay. I hope their head isn't cold. I really hope they're okay. If I go down for some bullshit, dog, I'm going to get heated. I'll be just like old Chester Winnington or whatever the fuck his name is, you know? Going down for crimes I didn't commit. I didn't kill no old ladies in Illinois, all right, people? I know what you're getting at. I can hear you. I can hear what you're thinking. You're thinking Joe might have killed somebody while he was in Illinois. And I didn't. I'll tell you that much right now. I didn't do it. All right? Let's get you the animal video clip of the week and get you on your way. All right, people. This one, Dark Side of Nature. It's back in business, everybody. Remember when I used to have Dark Side of Nature videos pretty much every time on the podcast, and then the account got blown up and busted? Well, now it's back, baby. Now it's back for all the fun stuff, the dark side of nature. This one isn't that dark, you know. I just thought it was kind of funny. Because you know how people go to like state parks or whatever, those big ones, and then they get out and try to look at animals. It's always fun when they do it in like China and Japan, and people get out of their cars when the tigers are around, and then a tiger takes somebody off. I think that's hilarious. That's fun. What are you doing? Stay in your fucking car, you know. But this one was probably in fucking Montana or something like that, wherever bisons live. Where do bisons live? Someone get at me, at Joe Kelley Comedy. Let me know where bisons are from or where I might be able to find one, okay? Would love for that to happen. But all these people, they want to, you know, everyone's out of their car taking pictures of the bison. Not professional photographers, just a bunch of fucking jack-offs, you know what I mean? Fucking jack-offs from North Carolina and fucking Tampa. And those fucking idiots, you know? Those people who are just, you know, they care a lot about their kids, but they put them in danger's way without even fucking thinking twice about it. You know, everyone's out of their cars taking pictures of the bison. Bison decides they don't want to be having pictures taken no more. Photo op is over, and now it's time to fuck shit up. You know what I mean? So it charges at a little girl, a young girl, and just scoops her up, flips her about 10 feet in the air, and she lands on the ground pretty hard. But she's a child. She'll be fine, you know. And other than the trauma that is going to keep her awake every night for the rest of her life that her parents caused, you know, other than that, she'll be just a scratch, honey, just a scratch. Don't worry about it, you know. And then the video cuts off, so it looks like the bison might be going back to do a little bit more damage. I should have looked it up. Maybe there's a news story to go along with this video of a bison murdering a child. But I was just thinking, it's like, these are the same, these fucking yuppie people that go on these fucking safaris, you know what I mean, that want to get out and take pictures. These fucking yuppies, you know, they're the same people. They're the same fucking people that get on you for leaving your dog in the car when it's too hot. You know what I'm saying? But don't leave your dog in the car on a hot day, even if the window's cracked. It's like, bitch, why don't you keep your kids out of the fucking bison path? You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, don't leave your fucking dog in the car, but I'm going to put my child in front of a bison. Fuck you. You know what I mean? You fucking numbskull. They're ridiculous. I love my child. I want to protect it, but fucking... Go look at the bison, sweetie. Go look at the bison. Don't cross the street, okay? Don't cross the street by yourself, but go look at the bison. Don't take candy from strangers, but go look at the bison, okay? Get it together, people. Don't let your fucking children wander around when bisons are present, okay? Is it bisons? Bison? Nobody knows. Nobody knows for sure. What is that old fucking Brian Regan bit? That's what that is. Anyway, a flock of goosen. I saw a geesin. Go look up Brian Regan's album, his comedy album from like 2000, probably 2003, 2004, something like that. One of the best fucking albums of all time. I don't know the name of it, but fucking phenomenal. Just a craftsman over there. Anyway, people, hey, thanks for checking out the podcast this week. I appreciate you. Hope we had a little bit of fun, you know, as we always try to do. Hope you got something out of it. You know, smoke a little bit of weed. Take care of yourself, all right? That's what makes you healthy. And eating ass. And don't get in the way of a bison. And if you like beef jerky, you might be autistic. We found that out today. What else did we find out? Murdering old ladies. Pretty easy to do, I guess, if you're up in Illinois. And, you know, just to recap everything. So, hey, thanks for checking out the podcast, everybody. Hope we had some fun. Get out there. Have some fun this week, all right? Take care of yourself. Take care of somebody else. I'll catch you all around real soon. Next Monday, I promise. We're going to be back on schedule next Monday, all right? Later.